Starting a game of Stellaris can be complex and confusing, especially when the game updates and changes every month. And to make matters worse, the start of the game is the most important, from discovering your choke points, selecting the best traditions, and getting the ball rolling on your tech and economy. However, do not fear, as in this video I will be playing as the UNE, showing you every single click for the first 15 years. So you can get off to a flying start and defeat anything that lays in your way. This video will be beginner friendly, but also throw in a bunch of tips that even more experienced players might not know about. This is episode 1 of series 4 of my $5 members only series. The rest of the series will then aim to defeat the 25 times all crisis, which goes up to 200 times strength due to all crisis scaling. The first episode is free, but episode 2 will already be out to start your binge watching after finishing this. There's also 3 previous series on 4.0, 4.1 and 4.2. Hopefully it's not as laggy as our first series. Now let's get into the video. So here we are with season 4, and we're going back to what we've done in season 1, but it was on 4.0. I want to see the difference. All the changes for 4.3 is made, and I want to take on the 25 times crisis. We'll be running with the United Nations of Earth, the most played empire statistically. What do? Well, they're a democratic human. They're going to be getting some buffs to faction output and faction approval. We have Beacon of Liberty giving us more unity, less empire size from pops, more refugee attraction, and less smuggle population operation difficulty. We should try that out to get some pops. I always forget about it, to be honest. Then Idealistic Foundation gives us some happiness and refugee attraction, so there's going to be a lot of refugees. And then the council position lowers the amenity usage. These are okay civics, they're not like meta in any way. Monthly unity is nice, the rest is a bit meh. Xenophile gives us trade from jobs, which is actually pretty nice. An extra envoy and refugee attraction. Lots of refugee attraction, that's like 50%. We then also have Fanatic Egalitarian. This gives us utopian living sense, which is going to be important. We get more faction output when that happens and more specialist output. Egalitarian's a very, very nice ethic. In terms of our species traits, again, these are not that great. We get more habitability, which can be nice. We're obviously organic for more food upkeep, nomadic for less resettlement cost, which we could try and use, then wasteful, meaning more consumer good upkeep, which is really, really not nice. This is not a great pick. In terms of the origin, it's one of the most simple ones. We get an initial 400 extra pops, which is very nice. We get an extra generator district and agricultural district, so we're going to have a lot more resources off the bat. And we get more happiness, amenities, and resources from jobs on our capital for 20 years. Pretty good. We also start with the guaranteed option to get planetary unification, giving us more unity. These are all just pretty nice. There's nothing too special about them, but it's just nice. In terms of the settings, we are going to be playing at Grand Admiral, the hardest, but if you want to follow along on easier difficulties, it's just going to mean that AI is not going to be as tough. The AI basically get massive bonuses to their economy, research, and naval capacity. Says it right there. If you're playing on easier difficulties, this will go down, and at civilian, you get bonuses instead. We're going to be playing on the biggest galaxy because I want to test out how not laggy the game is now. We're going to see if that's true. In our first season, we went all the way to like 200, I think, years plus in, and it was laggy, let me tell you that. Very, very, very laggy. So we're going to see if we get the same thing here. And we're playing on a spoke galaxy because I don't think I've ever played on a spoke galaxy. Mix it up. I like to lower the hyperlane density down by 1 just so we get a bit more choke points. I do like choke points. And we got max AI empires with member and patron submitted empires for spawning in. No advanced AI starts and 6 fallen empires. So we get all of them. In terms of the advanced settings, we're going to use all crisis. This basically means that they'll fire sequentially in a random order. That tooltip I think is wrong. I think more can actually spawn in now. They changed it in 4.3. And then we've got 25 times crisis. Every time another crisis spawns in, it doubles the strength. So the first will be 25, then 50, then 100, then 200 times. I don't know if it's going to be possible with the UNE. We have defeated this in 4.0. Let's see the difference in 4.3. No scaling difficulty. That's a difference from our 4.0. We did have mid-game scaling. The AI were too easy because we have the mid-game a bit longer. Everything else then is default except for tech and tradition. We've lowered this by 0.25 because I just do not like 1 times. It feels like the start is way too slow. We'll get like 2 techs done. It's boring. Everything else then is default. We're not going to select a precursor. Mid-game 2300, end-game 100 years in, end-game 200 years in, 2400. No victory year. We'll win when we kill all the crisis or we die. Max marauders, then all of this is default. Now let's get into the game. So when you spawn in, you do get a bunch of lore, which is different depending on your origin and potentially pre-scripted. It will just run through kind of why you have the origin and civics. We're going to click begin. We get put to Earth. If we click on the galaxy map, we can zoom out and see where we actually are. We're in the top left spoke. I'm going to make a save. Episode 1 start. If you want it, join the Discord. The first thing we're going to do is have a look at our surroundings. We are on a continental world, and in the game settings, there's guaranteed habitable. The default's 2, so there will be 2 continental worlds near you. We need them. Now, we've got 2 over here. I don't think both of these are guaranteed, because usually they're in different systems. They won't be in the same, but this is just a nice bonus. One of them is guaranteed. So with our science ship, we're going to click them, then right-click, and survey Alpha Centauri. We want to get our planets as soon as possible. The other thing we want to do is explore, find choke points, find more planets, find where the survey ship's going to go. Surveying takes time because they have to go through every single planetary object in here, survey it. It takes time. But what we can do is split off our military fleet. Then we have Roberto Felton here on our first fleet. And as a military person, they can actually explore unknowns. So what we're going to do is just use them to explore the area a bit, find where our second planet will be, like so. They're going to go around looking for that. Hopefully it's nearby. If it's this way, it's that way. We have guessed wrong, but it gives us more information early on, which is the key to getting a good start. Next, we're going to check our techs at the top here. Physics research. These buildings have been greatly nerfed since 4.0. They used to give 1 extra research per 100 physicists. Now they only give 0.25. However, this is still more tech, and it also gives 200 physicist jobs. It's going to be more than 5% research speed, and we don't need deflectors, so it's still a good pick. Here, I mean, you could go for the 2.5% more Unity, but again, I want some tech rushing. Tech is going to let us get ahead of the AI and hopefully scale past them. As they're going to be at an advantage at the start, we have to use our human brains to get ahead of them. The next thing we want to do before playing is actually come over to the market and set up some buy orders. The way this market works is when you buy something, the cost for it will then go up. Supply and demand. Now, there are numbers that you can monthly buy, which you can check in my Discord in the Stellaris pinned, which I am loading up right now. And basically, these numbers, if you buy at them or below, won't increase the monthly buy, meaning you're essentially getting not free resources, but it's not going to keep getting more expensive, so it's very efficient. Now, what we need early game is minerals. Minerals are going to build up our planet, our deposits, which are even more important now in 4.3, as they're worth a lot more relative to what populations can produce. So we want to buy the maximum, which is 42. And it's the same for energy and food, but we're not going to have enough trade to do that. As you can see, minerals are 1.3 per 1. We're buying 42, so it's going to be more than 33. But what we can do is actually just sell some energy. The maximum sell is actually more than the buy. The sell for energy, minerals, and food is 64. So we can afford to sell that. And we'll sell some food. That should compensate a lot. And I do want to get some alloys going as well, as we're going to want to spam starbases. And they're costing alloys. So let's buy 3. I should probably work out the most optimal, but it depends on your empire start, because we have a lot of energy and food because we started with more districts and we're getting more resources. So we'll adjust these as we go on, and I'll make sure to let you know when we do that. We're going to start off with this to see how that goes. Next thing we could do before playing is come over to the Sol Station and actually replace the crew quarters with a Hydro Bay. This costs 50 alloys and has a 1 energy upkeep, but produces us 10 food. This 10 food can then be sold, as you can see here, for 0.7, so it's 7 total if we sell all 10, which is more than 1 energy upkeep. The alloys do cost, of course, but they'll pay off. The earlier we get it, the more it'll pay off. And the crew quarters is pretty useless now because it's reducing dock ship upkeep, but we're only going to actually have 2 ships here because 1 is flying and their upkeep is minimal. I'm not sure. If we hover over here, bill of alloys, bill of energy, 25% of that's nothing. Later on it's good when you have lots of ships, but now it's not so good. Now we do have some edicts and policies, but we're not actually going to change these yet, as we want to expand first. So let's play, and we'll go too fast for now and pause when we need to. Actually, before we get to the month, I forgot. We do not need 5,000 amenities. Amenities helps with stability, but it doesn't really matter. This Holo Theatre is using 200 jobs for like 4 consumer goods, which is quite a lot. We only have 9. And they're producing us amenities on 1.4 Unity. Does not matter. So let's disable that. And then these pops that we're working at will become civilians, which produces some trade and amenities anyway. And you're going to see we're going to want a lot of civilians. We can also get rid of enforcers. We don't have crime, so let's remove those. And these guys will slowly demote into civilians. I think it's kind of instant now. They've changed some stuff, I don't know. But it's still worthwhile getting rid of those. So the first month's ticked over. We're actually -3 in the trade, but that's fine. Our consumer goods and allies are looking healthy. Let's sell a bit more energy just so we can be positive in trade. There you go, that's still going very nicely. So we're saving up minerals to build. I think you either want to build a mineral district so we can get more minerals so we can build more, or you want to save up for a city district because it's going to give you what the archive zone is giving you, which is physics, biologists, engineers, bureaucrats, so science and unity, and mixed industry, alloys and consumer goods. Now I practiced this a little bit just so I know exactly what to do, and minerals was an issue when I just rushed down a city district, so what I'm going to do is just build the mineral district to start with. This will get our minerals going. We have a lot of civilians to work those jobs. The 200 jobs we're going to get going to produce us 10 minerals, which is going to greatly help. Remember, these minerals we're going to need to build on other planets. I do like building the minerals first, and we can get it going quicker on the city district. We can then queue up with the energy, sprawling suns, for 100 pops when we forget to inevitably queue up a city district. So we won't waste any time. We want to have this building queue basically always building, because that's going to be our limit at the minute. And we can also look at our leaders. We didn't actually get the one that is pretty good early on, which is someone with architectural interests, because this will reduce upkeep, which is the energy that your districts have, but it also gives you more build speed, which gets these up and running quicker, which means you can put these civilians to work quicker. But we did not get an official that has it or someone else. We could hire the scientist, then hire another scientist, but I don't think it's worthwhile because governors actually give buffs based on what they are. So the officials giving us basic, advanced, and strategic resources per level. The level 1, so they're giving 1% on the sector, but 2% on the planet. Whereas a scientist gives us, this is just means science, and less upkeep for jobs. And then the commander would give job efficiency to soldiers and workers and enforcers, essentially. They also give less crime, more stability, and efficiency for slaves. We don't need those here when we don't have slaves. Or soldiers. Or enforcers, for that matter. So that's the reasoning behind those. And we have found Sirius. I am Sirius. That's another continental world. So once you're done surveying there, we're going to hold shift, survey Barnard Star, then survey Sirius. We don't want to skip over because the influence cost doubles. So for every system you miss, it adds it on to what the construction ship is. But we want these systems. So there's no point in us skipping, if that makes sense. It's more efficient, even though, yes, we'd get the planet quicker. We want to get as many systems as we can, as we're going to want to build as many starbases as we can. We've got a bit of minerals coming in now, and we still have a while until the mineral district's done. So what I'm going to do is queue up this construction ship to actually build. Now the choice is, do we get a bit more science or economy? I'm greedy. Let's get the engineering going. And we are saving up this colony ship. We just need some more consumer goods, but we will get there very soon. We could buy some more, but I really hate spending trade on consumer goods. And we're not in a super rush. We can build the colony ship before we actually even get the system, which makes it more efficient to colonize. But it might be up a bit too quick. Got some precursors. These are even more important now early on, so we might build a science ship relatively soon to do any anomalies, dig sites that we do get, because they give us some tech, and tech early on is hard to come by. We're at 41. Oh dear. Any events you get, you're going to have to weigh up what you want. Hyperlane breach points I do not care about, so let's just take the 92 society. It's not a lot, but it gets us moving here. It's actually much quicker now to get this compared to the other two, so that's quite nice early on. And I probably want to save up the minerals to instantly build the next thing, so let's not do that. Now, first tradition. There are a lot of options here. However, I think the best pick still to this day is Mercantile, or now renamed Commerce, and you're going to see why. This just does a lot with trade, and it's going to combine very well with our trade starbases that we're going to spam. And it all comes down to adaptive economic policy, allowing us to convert trade into consumer goods or unity. And you're going to see we're going to get a lot of consumer goods from this. That's the plan anyway. We could do unity, but I feel like now the consumer goods is just better because this mixed industry produces a lot less consumer goods than it used to. So it's really hard to keep up consumer good demand with the tech. So yeah, we're going to want to try and do that. And we can now afford the colony ship, so let's build one of those. And I'm going to save for now a city district. We're up to 70 minerals, which is pretty nice. And we'll let the sprawling slums finish, because I want those 100 pops. To be honest. And we could probably try and sneak in this mining station, because you are not done surveying. We do want to get a construction ship over here as soon as they're done surveying. Got Habitable's World Survey. I just like taking the Unity. We really need Unity as soon as we can, so that we can then get to adaptive economic policies. We'll take that. Then we'll come over to government, policies and edicts, and turn on consumer benefits. So now, instead of wealth creation, turning 50% of our trade into energy, we're going to turn 50% of our trade into consumer goods. Yes, that is a bigger return on investment, because look how much energy is worth. 1.3 per one. Consumer goods is worth 2.6 per one. And they're giving the same conversion, right? 50% trade into energy, 50% trade into consumer goods. That's just better. You could do 50% of trade into Unity and one trade in 0.25. Oh, I guess this is 50% of trade into energy, but it produces one energy still. And this is one trade earns 0.5. So this is like a quarter of our trade is consumer goods. And this is like quarter of our trade is Unity. Okay. But still, it's good. So we'll let the month tick over because I want to show this. Now, you could do this more optimally. Get an extra month. But yeah, now we have 30 consumer goods a month. And what we're going to do is come over to species, set our species rights, go into living standards, and turn on utopian abundance. This means that civilians produces unity and research. That is absurd. However, one consumer good upkeep per 100 pops for all classes. Decent conditions was only 1 for elites, 0.5 for specialists, and 0.25 for workers and civilians. So yes, this can quadruple our consumer good upkeep, but we have the consumer goods to spare. It's fine. And we're going to get so much unity and research. We're at 23 and 43. Put on utopian abundance. You can see we're at 2.1 thousand civilians, so that's going to be a lot to tech and unity. And it's not actually shown in the living standards, but these pops are producing us trade. As you can see here, they just produce us trade from their like living condition sort of thing. Human civilians at the bottom, 10.98. Civilians produce us trade, but then the living conditions, they're all producing trade. This will go up with utopian. So they don't pay for themselves, but it mitigates it because we're changing our trade into consumer goods. So we have gone to -3. But we are producing 33 tech from our civilians and 12 unity. That has doubled our tech, and it was like a third of our unity. That is absurd. Let's see how long our tech's going to take. A lot quicker now for these to get online. This is a good stopgap early on when we don't have many resources. And it's just going to help. They also get more happiness, so there's more stability going on. But yeah, consumer goods is bad. We still have trade to fix that, so let's just buy some consumer goods, sell some more food. We can use this market up until the max to actually try and fix these sort of things. Might have to buy some more, but that's fine. We're going to try and build more trade soon. Got another desert world here. That's pretty nice. We can't really settle there because remember, we are continental preference. Why does it not let me hover over it? Does not let you hover over it for some reason. Yeah, we're looking just for continental worlds to start with. Later game, we can terraform them, make our pops better at settling on them. It will be fine. Let's get this energy, and then we'll head over to Alpha Centauri. You've still got 3 planetary bodies to survey, so we should get that done in time. That is an automated dreadnought. Run. If you see any enemies, run. You don't want to waste your unity getting a new person back, but if you do, it's fine. You've got 2 more corvettes. That's why I split them up. There's no way 3 corvettes are taking on a dreadnought. So let's make like a tree and leaf, I think. Good to know that's there. Okay, you got caught. Can we retreat? Can we retreat? Nope. They died. It's fine. We'll split this off. And let's get another leader. Doesn't really matter who. Haley Scott. Let's go and explore this way instead. Don't run into someone. Put you back on the Ministry of Defense. Very nice. Bit annoying. We lost a bit of unity there because we had to rehire, but I prefer the information. Yes, unity's good, but information's key. And it's fine. Look, we're already at the next bit. And I think trade from living standards is really good, considering we have the best living standard. Market fee's good, trade from jobs is also good. But we only have 200 traders. 10% would be 2.9. I don't know how much living standards would give. Let's just do living standards and see if we go up more than 2.9. This is for science. We're at 3. We went up 2-ish, so it's relatively the same. Let's launch our agenda, and then we're instantly going to try and get more monthly unity. The only other one I would consider is expand the council. And that's only if you have really, really good council positions. Egalitarian F extraction, don't care about. Idealistic foundation, less pop amenity usage it's okay, but we don't have amenity issues and we have 1 planet. So those civics are not worth going the council stuff. I'd rather the bonus here to unity. And we do have a colony ship now, so we've sent them to Alpha Centauri. Ready. You have just finished surveying, so now with the construction ship, we can now... Oh, you haven't finished surveying. Never mind, you have 1 more system. Level up, I will take the survey speed. Council agenda speed is also really nice. I can't lie, these are tough. Very tough. I'll take the survey speed. I want to survey quicker. I need our outposts so we can build more trade stations, please. And here's the thing, I kind of want to get a science ship already to start doing some of these anomalies. Let's do it. Let's build that science ship. We have quite a decent, not amazing, but decent amount of alloys coming in. And as soon as this city district's done, let's build another city district. This is going to give us more alloys, unity, science. It's nice. In terms of the next scientist, because I didn't take the council agenda speed, none of these give anomaly research speed. Let's take Pauline, who has a council agenda speed, and then we'll swap you onto the council so we get that bonus. Now with you, I don't think we have enough alloy and influence to survey and construct 2 different ways. So I'm just going to send them immediately to do these anomalies, because we could get quite nice bonuses from doing them. And science ship's finished. Let's construct. If we wanted to be quicker, I would have had the construction ship in the middle. Don't know why I didn't. And then we will have the colony ready to go on the size 18. The bigger planet, the better. Although, this is pop growth speed 10%. And this is poor mine. I actually kind of want to do the pop growth speeds, because we can take advantage of that quicker. Yeah. Our official has leveled up into architectural interest. This is, yeah, we're going to take that. That's going to save us energy massively in the long run and build up our districts quicker. Queue up another city districts. And we will clear or queue these just in case I forget to build, so we're at least queuing blockers ready for them. This kind of looks nice. This might be like, we might be like blocked off here, unless it keeps going. This also could be the connection into this burst, I guess, which is not ideal. This governor's leveled up. Wait, who did I level up? Huh? Who got... Oh no. It's our leader got architectural interest. Damn it. They're not on our planet. Okay, well, we're just going to take the minerals from jobs. I've gone doofed. Now, let's colonize this planet. Now, what size is this? 18. I can't... We should try and make a colony ship for the other one. But first, I want the starbase. It costs us a bunch of alloys, but it's going to be worth it. Trust me. So much so, I'm kind of looking at our economy here to increase the amount of alloys we're buying, just so we can get more. We got first human colony. These rewards can be whatever you want. I'm gonna just take energy. Yeah, I like that. Let's try and sell a bit more food. Trade's going to be fixed once we get this up and running. It's just more, do we prioritize colony or trade? Trade is an immediate boost to our economy, whereas the planet's going to take a while to ramp up. They actually have a negative impact on your economy as soon as you get them, but over time they'll be better. Another tradition, we are going to try and finish commerce because we'll get 10% monthly trade, which does give us more consumer goods. And I think we'll lower the market fee because we are buying and selling a lot. And what happens when you're buying and selling is you have a 30% fee. This is now down to 20%. So overall, because we're using this so much, we're plus 11 trade. So let's keep buying more alloys. I like that idea. Maybe I should have gone that instead of the trade from our living conditions or whatever it was. Okay, the construction ship has nothing to do here, so we'll send it to follow that science ship. And what I should have done is come over to policy and edicts and activate fortify the border because it gives a 50% upgrade speed as well as the capacity going up by 2. That would get our starbase up quicker. And it doesn't actually cost us any unity because we're below our edict fund, which is 20. It costs 8 to activate, but that's well worth it. Which is very nice. We got everything ticking along quite nicely now. This looks like it goes off into this cluster. Okay, starbase is done. Now, instantly, trade hubs. They have a base upkeep of 2 energy. Annoying. It is annoying. However, it produces 8 trade, and this can be buffed further with technologies we'll research. 8 trade also turns into 4 consumer goods. Actually, maybe 2 if it's a quarter. It's worth it. Very much so. We're going to build 2 of those, so that's 16 trade. And we're going to build a hydro bay for some food, which we can sell, or later down the line get rid of food jobs. Because we can just make all our food from our star bases. Got another event here. We can get Unity or Unity. Another exoplanet to our growing list. Give us Unity. Very nice. And that's from the anomalies, pushing us through the traditions quicker, which is really nice. I'm not going to do the dig site yet. I'm going to go research this level 2 anomaly. Anomalies have different levels, which is how difficult they are. Depending on the scientist level and other traits you can get, they'll do them quicker or easier. We want to level up Pauline before we do bigger dig sites and bigger anomalies. This dig site is only level 1, so we could do it. And they get XP for doing those, so you may as well do the easier ones first. It's just a bit more efficient. Let's get 10% more trade from jobs. This does not affect the star bases, but we are working a little bit of trade jobs. So it's a little bit of a bonus, giving us more consumer goods. Which means I can try and pump this alloy number up a little bit more and lower the consumer goods. I'm so greedy, but you know, someone's got to be. Okay, so the choke point is all the way over here. That's good to know. I really want to see where an empire is over here to see... Actually, we shouldn't do that. We should leave our military ship here, teleport the leader to this military ship, and now go and explore over here. This is good for 2 reasons. It saves the time going all the way back. We also get to see if someone comes here, make first contact with them, but also know, oh, we should start expanding here. And I know there's planets here, but it's so far away, and they're not continental. I don't care at the minute. Later on, we could kill them, but I want to try and get... I mean, this is just such a nice line of choke point stuff, you know? Be very nice. But our first trade hub down, so we're going to see our trade go up to 10, or 6, I guess. But then also our consumer goods go up, which means we can buy less consumer goods and more alloys. Now the max is 10, so we're going to keep it at the 10. And I could have built this outpost a little bit sooner. I'm just kind of prioritizing that over colonies at the minute. And we finally got our materials workshop. We want robots. We're going to be rushing down Cyber Ascension as it's one of the best Ascensions now. And grabbing this is going to help with that. And I don't care about going to war at the minute, so we don't need war techs. I'm then going to queue up the materials workshop and bump it above the blockers. I'll let the city district finish because it's almost done. We may as well. You can see our civilians are slowly going down, but it's still producing us 30 tech, 11 unity, which is a lot of our tech and unity. I do want to think about maybe getting another colony ship. But again, colonies, yes, we want to get them early. But star bases, they give you the economy now so that we can afford to spam technology. So we're kind of trying to balance both of them. We got a +3 to minerals here. Thank you, anomaly. Now this is a level 4 anomaly. So let's go and do this dig site now. And once the science ship's surveyed here, we'll probably go up and grab this desert world. I'm hoping this doesn't lead anywhere and we can cut off the choke point. So what we're trying to do is survey and construct in a way where we can cut off another empire to space behind so that in a later date we can take that. So overall we can get more space, because more space good. Wide is much better than tall, especially with the UNE. In terms of traits here, I like damage and sublight speed. Just make our ships more efficient rather than getting more naval capacity, so we need more of them. And yeah, we are doing the starbase. I forgot. So we're starting to lose some energy, so let's stop selling as much. I think this looks, yeah, that's surely a choke point, but I always like to make sure, because you can assume and then it bites you in the ass. I should have built on here before coming to here, but that's fine. We did get the biological lab, so we will again queue that up in the archive. Come out next. Now, these techs are these three are really hard to choose between, because off-worlder trade companies gives +4 per trade hub. +4. It's incredible. We're spamming trade. We're also spamming food in the building slot. But these, essentially, it would be an extra trade hub. That's very good. Pop growth speed. Pops are key. Pop speed and resources. And then Unity. 2.5%. It will add up. It's also going to grant us a small amount. That helps. I think, I hate that I'm doing this, we're not going to go for the Unity because it's a guaranteed option from our origin. So this is always going to show up. So if we get a bad roll, we can just go for that. We're spamming Hydro Base at the minute. This is really good when we get an upgraded starbase. Or we can aim to get way more starbases. So I'm actually going to go for the pop growth speed. Because we're playing late game in this series, pop growth speed, this is just going to add up over time more. If you're playing for a faster, quicker game, the trade hub's probably the better option then. And we're obviously going to take Spark of Genius for the research speed. Absolutely take that, yes.
Construction completed.
But as you know, we are doing this on a longer series for the member series. And the reason I do it this way and not make this a free series is because series do not work on YouTube. Parts don't do well in the algorithm. So the usual videos I do, I try to self-contain everything in one video. That takes a lot of time. The member series, I want to give back to those doing the $5 members. And this felt like a really good fit because it's serialized, but in the member sphere, and you guys are committed to watching the series. It also takes a fraction of the time. A normal edited video can take 10 to 20 hours combined work time from editor time, my recording, researching it, practicing the build. Whereas the member series, yeah, I practiced this build very quickly because it's just the first 10 to 20 years. But also then once I've done the first episode, the episodes take me like an hour. I literally just sit down and play it. Now the members also allow me to pay my editors more. We can experiment with things like you've seen the shorts that we're doing to reach new people, and experimental videos such as the 16 types of Stellaris players that you all really like. And it allows me to take breaks when I need it. Like in December, I had a family bereavement. I also was starting to feel burnt out, but because of the members' revenue, I could pay my bills. I could just take the time off. Did not need to upload, so I can keep going and keep producing content for you. That's why we're doing that. This first episode is free, and then the rest of the series will obviously be paid for, but that's why we do it this way. It doesn't take away from any of the videos, because it does not take me a long time to make. Free videos that have always been free, not going anywhere. Now, as you can see, this military ship has discovered the choke point here. So this means we immediately want to go here, because as you can see, this is going to cut off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 systems. This survey is going to be insane as long as nobody's here. This choke point's good, but if we go here, 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 it only saves 2 systems. It's a nice choke point, but it only keeps 2 extra for the future. This is the power of exploring with the military ships. I'm going to take the resource produced from research stations, as they're pretty good actually. That goes to 0.5 extra tech. We're going to have hopefully more systems. Just keeps our technology scaling a bit more. Another stations here, we're going to take the trade hubs, of course, and then the hydro bay. Then we're going to queue up to build here. And again, we just don't have the alloys to build more colony ships. But I do like my starbases giving us the consumer goods. We don't really need to worry about it too much at the minute. We could come over to the policies and change our economic policy to militarized economy, giving us more alloys from jobs. I'm so tempted, but I don't think we have enough consumer goods right now to be able to afford that. I can't lie. But what we can do is just sell some more food. If in doubt, sell food. So our planet is online. What do we make this? That's the big question a lot of people have. First thing I do is look at the modifiers. They're not actually buffing up anything to do with resources, so that's not going to give us a clue there. Let's look at the management, and then we can look at the planetary features. Now, anything in gold means it's going to do something special. I don't actually know what Isolated Valley does, but Fuming Bog is going to mean we can get exotic gases from food, which is going to be very strong, especially at 4.3, as industrial rare resources kind of suck now. And you have Befarian Fields, which will unlock a special district in the mining to give us energy from minerals. Now, I don't really care that much for it, and neither do I care that much for food at the minute, which is annoying. This sucks as a mineral world, so this is not going to be a mineral world. And this planet is a dust desert, so this looks like a good energy world. This sucks for minerals, but doesn't give us anything for food. So this could be a good, like, sea district. This could be good for food, but I don't really want to build food. So I guess this has to be a bit of minerals. Process of elimination, we will build minerals. I'm going to build minerals, but I'm also going to build a luxury resident, so we get some amenities. So then we don't actually have to work the colonists. The colonists give us a bit of trade, food, build speed, happiness. But it doesn't really matter, basically. It does not matter. So we're going to want to get rid of them so they can just work the mining districts. And that will let you do that. And we've got quite a nice built up a bit of minerals, so that will be fine. Going to get a first material lab, pushing us from 24 to 35 engineering. Not the biggest boost, but it's a boost. It is a boost. It's mainly from the jobs, but of course he is getting a little bit more per job, 0.5. So it's giving us like 1 extra. Oh, how tech has been murdered. Traditions have been finished. Commercial enterprise. That means our city districts or trade buildings receive additional trader jobs, which we do have one of them. So we're going to get 100 extra trader jobs, which that's okay. It's not bad. The main important thing is it gives us monthly trade, which is very nice. Because that just means more trade. In terms of ascension perks, there's a few you could go for. If you're really trying to spread out and play tall, Interstellar Dominion could be good to reduce your empire size from systems, claim influence costs, starbase influence, but it's not that good, in my opinion. Tech Ascendancy, this is going to give you 10% research speed, which is pretty nice, and gives you rare technology research options, which is also very nice, because arc furnaces and dice swarms are very good, and they're rare techs. One Vision, I really like. The 10% unity this early, help you get more traditions quicker. It's good, and governing Earth extraction will help your factions later on. Empire size from planets could also be good if you've got a lot of planets, because planets now cost a lot more empire size than before, double. And that's about all the options. I was thinking Wrath of the Void could be good, but you have to have one other ascension, so that can't really take that yet. 5 extra star bases. I'm going to go with One Vision. I just really like it as a first pick. The Unity buff, especially because we don't have that much Unity. It was going to help. Okay, let's get another colony on the go. I think that is the correct play. We have 11 consumer goods now. I'm going militarized. Let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. We're down to 2 but 31 alloys. That's pretty good. Because we only need 1 more colony ship, which will cost us 200 consumer goods. I think that's the correct play. Ramp up our alloy production. Let's build on the trade. And then get you sent there. And then we can almost immediately build that starbase. Does cost us 250, which is annoying. And we have met someone here. So yeah, we need to get here so quickly. Let's do a first contact. They're already serving, which is scary. But luckily we could get here. Now AIs can skip over one system. So if we had this system and this one, they could then skip and construct here. So if we do only get to here, we're going to want to survey here and construct there as soon as possible to lock in all these systems. We can't fight them because of first contact, and we're very nice. We're nice humans. You could fight their science ship to claim it if you're evil. That's up to you and your build and how you want to play. Okay, this military ship, we'll keep exploring. Maybe we can find more about them, see where they've come from. Funny we haven't found anything this way. Let's get this colony ship going as well first, I think. Another tech, power exoskeletons. We immediately get the tech that's so good early on. Artificial workforce. Robots are just... they're just good. They basically turn 100 pops, have to work it, to get 2 production a month. So that's going to take 50 months, or about 4 years, to get the pops back. Build them on all your planets. You're going to start getting a lot of robot pops, and pops mean prizes. They're going to start filling out your worker jobs. Eventually, when you get more techs, they can work specialists. Robots are good. Oh, we found another first contact here. Is it the same? I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, that's the reason robots are good. Pops are good, so robots are good. And we're going cybernetics. So, it's going to go well. We've almost got enough alloys again to build another starbase. I always think it's 200. They've made it more expensive. There we go. Dig site, just make sure to keep doing it. We're getting some minor artifacts, which can actually help. We come over to discoveries and collections. We can actually celebrate diversity to get some unity and xenophile F extraction. I'm going to do that. I don't really care about artifacts at the minute. Unity is way more important. It's going to push us along to our next tradition. I just really hope we can get here. I don't want them to get all up in our grill. Because what it means as well is we can lock these in and then start serving this way to lock these planets in. And we've got a really nice base of stuff. And I should have been building more minerals here and also switch this to a mining world to get more efficiency. We always want to be building. I never built the field dynamic center. That's kind of a misplay. Put you there. Thank you for another city district above that. Well, that's why we have the blockers, because they were doing something at least. You can see we're actually slowly losing civilians because they're going into more jobs, but we're actually buffing up the science beyond what it was. And we're just going to keep adjusting things like our energy. And we do need to probably buy some consumer goods just to keep positive. But now we've already queued up our colony ships. We don't actually need a surplus of consumer goods because that's all we really needed it for the colony ships. Okay, let's build that. Please tell me there's nothing in here. Okay, there's no one here. Good, 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 good. Another base done. We're going to obviously do the trade and then the Hydra bait. And I believe the max sell is 62, 64. So we'll just sell the maximum. We can't go above this, or the cost, the sell, will go down. It does go down a little bit, but by the end of the month, it'll go back to 0.8, which is the same for the minerals and the energy. As it should be. Another... oh, that's a progression on first contact. Done the food. I think we take the Unity now. These options aren't that good. Eco simulation is nice, but we don't really care about food. We're selling it all. Construction ship again. Build the mining and research, then head over here. It's interesting, I don't see signs of them. And again, minerals, we're going to favorite that. We don't need the amenities from the colonists, so we can keep that favorited. We're just going to keep building my minerals. Minerals as your first planet's really nice because you can then build up the other colonies quickly. And the next tradition. Now, this is a point of contention, I think, because there are a bunch of good options. Lots and lots of people love Discovery. You'd think I do because I like tech. What does it do? You do get more anomaly research speed if you do the Edict Map the Stars. It's all right. And the agenda chart that's unknown, which gives you survey speed and more anomalies chance. It's okay. This left side, more survey speed and disengagement chance. It's okay. Research subsidies is pretty nice because it gives your scientists more output for the cost of trade or consumer goods or energy, I'm not sure which one. And it gives you more resources produced from research stations and starbases, 20%. That's quite good. It's okay though, but it's not amazing, but it's good. Research alternatives and science capacity and skill level is decent too. XP and recruitable leader per class, I can't speak properly, is okay, not amazing. Reducing your upkeep for research by 20% is the main reason I'd pick this. You save a lot of consumer goods if you're doing a lot of researches. When you finish it, you get research speed, which is nice. Research speed is essentially a multiplier on how much tech you have. So you can see we have a base of 30.92 physics because we're producing 30.92 physics here. However, we're getting a 33 progress because we're getting 7% of that added on. So 10% would be an extra 3.3. It's okay. However, I don't know if it's worth this early on going for it. A lot of the stuff falls off, like the survey and anomaly speed isn't going to help you later on when the galaxy is discovered. What does help you the whole time is prosperity, which I always go. As you know if you watch my videos, resources from mining stations just ramps up when you get arc furnaces, Dyson swarms. Infrastructure upkeep just gets better the more infrastructure you have. More resources from jobs is always good. Less upkeep from jobs, always good. Planetary infrastructure cost is really good early game. Lowers the minerals you need, and you can build it quicker, which means you can work your civilians quicker. And the additional housing, it's okay, it gives you a bit more pop growth. When you finish it, you also get a further 25% from orbital stations, which is also really good. All of these are just better, except for the... where is it? The upkeep reduction. My next option, which I think might be a little bit underlooked, is fortification. Get more starbases, which means more trade and food. Gives you more upgrade speed, so they come online quicker. This gives them 33% more hull and damage, including the defense platforms, which is really good at dealing with the AI. Another further 2 starbase capacity, but upgrade cost is halved, which is going to be insane once you get the upgraded starbases for more trade. You then get defensive armies producing unity, which is okay. It's not great. We have 4 defense armies, so that's 2 unity. As the game goes on, I guess it ramps with it a little bit as you get more planets and defense armies. You don't pick fortification for that. This again, less orbital bombardment, more exhaustion gain, and more hostile claim influence cost. It's decent, not really, but the hostile claim influence could stop someone killing you, I guess. While in defensive war with another empire, you get more ship build speed and ship fire rate. That's pretty good if you want to turtle up. That will add up. Then, when you finish it, you get the defense platform cap raised, less starbase upkeep, which can add up, and you get the Martial Alliance Federation, as well as access to the Eternal Vigilance Essential pick, which buffs your starbases even more. The main reason I like this is the upgrade costs of more starbases, and the fact your starbases are stronger. Now, this galaxy is not going to take any messing, because they have Grand Admiral from the start. They're going to try and kill me, and we want to turtle. So I'm going to take the safer play. Prosperity is greedier, and so is Discovery. So I'm going to take the safe play and go fortification now. We are going to get more starbase capacity, which is very nice, but we can also turtle up against these empires, so we don't immediately die to them, and we can tech rush further. That's the plan. We'll see if it works. We'll probably go prosperity third. But yeah, I don't want to die. That's the main thing, and that is kind of a security blanket to not dying. Now the real question is, do we wait the upkeep reduction, upgrade cost reduction? No, I'm fine. We can afford to build. It's gonna come into more of a thing when we upgrade. So here is a good example of why we want field modulation, is because this will then upgrade energy grid, which means we can then specialize here. So we do want those techs, but for the food one I don't really care at the minute. But specializing energy would be nice. I've finally found that empire. Hopefully they are nice. Please be nice. Bug Genius, more research speed, which again we've talked about how that's working. Does just add up. And on our mining world you can see, I'm just going to start working colonist jobs. We're fine with amenities. Keep giving us minerals. Eventually we could turn this into alloys or consumer goods as well, because we're producing the minerals, which means we don't have to pay the planetary deficits, which is pretty good. Let's do that first contact. We've finally found someone over here. That military ship's just stayed there. Which is great timing. Translate more lyrics. Can we do anything with that? Not at the minute. It's for 10 years. That's fine. Now, Unity does kind of suck, but we are about to get factions at year 10, which is quite nice. We've lost a lot of the civilians. They've moved over. Now, you could move more civilians over because we have some pop growth shenanigans going here. Basically, you can see there's base growth. We get 0.5 from pops. The more pops are on a planet, the quicker they grow, and it kind of flattens out. You can see here we have 5.1 thousand pops, and they've got an extra bonus of 3.17. So if you wanted, I think the optimal number someone worked out was 1,000 pops. So really, we should probably resettle some of the civilians over. If we come to policy and edicts, resettlement, allow it. And then we come here, play, you can resettle. What do they need, like 300? Now we should have an updated number. It's gone up to 1.18, so just moving 300 over has over doubled the extra pop growth. We also have the 10% here, which is nice. Oh no, it's Evil Montu. On this side, I think that was... Nope, they're there. Why are they hostile? Please don't be hostile to me. Remember to keep building your trade hubs and your Hydra base. What we can do is hopefully we get this choke point. We can build a defensive starbase, which will put off the AI from attacking. They're both hostile. Oh dear. We got a daring discovery. Society from jobs and happiness. Are we doing tech here? No. Let's just study it. Research that. Why not? It might give us something good. Now you could... Please don't be a construction ship. I think that is a sign. Yeah. I think it's a sign ship because of the icon. Yeah, they've built here. That's fine. So there's no point serving there. Let's survey Bresnil. And let's immediately build the outpost. Please. Yeah, they're just serving. They haven't surveyed. That's fine. So let's survey Breslin so we can lock in this sector. And another level up pop growth speed early on. Yep. We have to. And yeah, we've got civilians here. Let's upgrade the mining station, then the planetary administration. And this is done. Let's do that city district immediately. We could make our bureaucrats produce more unity. Yeah, we'll do that with the artifacts. More unity is pretty nice. And we're almost out of civilians and space, but that's fine because we don't really need this much food production. A Nema breeding thing, what? 62 months? Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not quite going to do that at the minute. Another level up. You are serving, so you will survey. Robots are done. Let's get the habitability and robomodding. I am playing it. We're going to rely on our starbase to defend us in the early game. I have another planet. This was not going to be minerals. So let's make it... We want it to be industry. Now, do we want it to be mixed industry? Probably not. What we want to do is try and shift off our mixed industry from our capital so we can make it all tech, since we already have tech stuff. So, the more important thing to not collapse is probably the consumer goods. What are we going to need more of, though? Alloys are going to come from arc furnace. So the one that's committed to a resources more should be consumer goods. And then we can make this minerals plus alloys. Because we're going to get a lot of alloys from arc furnace. That's my logic there. We have found a military isolationist all the way down here. Full empire in our quadrant. Our burst. And we're going to immediately build that starbase here. Now we've got 2 more that we can build. Which I like. And once you've surveyed here, we're going to send you down this line to get as many systems as possible. Translate more lyrics. We could do analysis. I don't care at the minute. Specimens aren't bad because tech overall got nerfed from jobs. So any other production is buffed, which is the same. We're going to take architectural interest on you though. That's going to save us energy, I think. Let's see. Yeah, like 11. It's pretty good. Factions finally formed. Took a little bit. We're going to promote this xenophile egalitarian one and hope we only have one faction. They want benevolent subjugation, so we should give it to them. Make them like us more. And that should buff up our unity nicely once more pops join them. As you can see, this is calculated by like some addition with the size and approval. These kind of suck. Alien Zoo don't really care about. Monument does give 5% more unity and gives our civilians unity, but we're not going to have many, if any, civilians at the minute because they're all going to go into jobs. See, we only have 80 here now, which is fine. We're going to replace this agricultural district to city district. You're building up. You're building up. What we do want to do before this actually is build those robots. Robots are going to be very, very, very important, as I've said many times. So we're going to want to queue those up as soon as possible, really, on all these planets. They're expensive, 600 minerals. This is why we wanted so many minerals going. We're still buying the maximum 42. We can actually buy less consumer goods. We have this starbase now. They don't come across as evil. We've actually made contact with them. They actually are nice. So let's establish embassy and improve. If they weren't nice, we build gun batteries. They're nice, we build trade hubs. We can always retrofit this if they start getting a bit evil. But they do border us. We just need to make sure they don't skip over into Breslin. So we will do that. Go expand down that way. Tradition, let's work our way to the upgrade cost reduction and more starbases. I don't think... Is it worth... Let's see, right. 4 armies is 2 unity. There is no way that's worth grabbing now. They're just rushing down starbase capacity and upgrade cost. Yeah. So yeah, now we've unlocked capacity subsidies, energy grid, and energy generation. Capacity subsidies has been changed. It's now trade per 100 technicians, which kind of is annoying. But we might have a lot of trade. You don't know. We don't even need to buy this many consumer goods now because we're slowly getting other things. Now that we've got robots, the first thing we want to build is a robot assembly plant, which we are getting on there. I maybe should have cancelled this planetary administration, the assembly, but it's fine. Yeah, we're just prioritizing the workers. Don't even work any of this. Yes, good. Oh, we do have a second faction, but they love us too. So that's fine. We're not going to promote it. I'd rather they go to the other one. You can see our Unity is slowly ramping up here. Hence why I've not really done much with Unity production. We should try and favorite roboticists when we get them, so they absolutely always work them. And just keep an eye for your crime. If you're getting close to 30, make sure you enable your enforcers. Crime events happen at 30%, so you never want it to hit 30%. It can be really bad. It kind of escalates how bad it gets. It can suck. And yeah, we're just waiting. Give us the minerals! There we go. Dig site is still going. Build there. You're going that way. This is a solid start. We're not even in triple digits of research. It's really hard to get your science numbers up if you don't have a specific build, like the Knights of the Toxic God or Cybernetic Creed or stuff that just accelerates you. Like the base UNE hasn't got anything going for it in terms of technology, so it's going to be awkward to get that number up. Let's buy some more energy because we're actually going to start seeing negative energy. What we could do is build like research labs for 180 more jobs. You might be seeing that I'm not building medical centers. That's because they cost 200 worker jobs. They give 10% pop growth and monthly organic pop growth multiplier, as well as amenities. But the time it takes to actually pay off those 200 jobs, so to get more pops from the pop growth than the 200 jobs, is quite a long time. And I need my pops efficiently working things. So that's why we're not building them. You could argue they're good for the amenities right now, but I could just enable the holotheater. What I'm going to do to get our tech up a little bit more... No, I want Unity to go up too. So we're going to actually replace the food district with the city district when we get the minerals. Just to turn this more into a city district. planet.
Construction completed.
And we're selling so much. Like, we have so much food because we're producing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 from our starbases so far. I'll automate. Some trick you can do if you don't have enough minerals and don't want to go in here to individually build, you can just click automate and it will do that for you. And we still have starbase slots, so we're obviously going to build a starbase. If we weren't going down... Oh, we found the Mount Splay, which is the evil empire I've played, which the video's not out. But we did get one of the empires from a video, which is funny. And they are evil. But because we're going Fortress Doctrine, I'm going to get 2 extra starbases, so I can build down here to block this empire. They've already built on here. That's fine. I'm going to improve relations. But they are a catalytic processing, distinguished admiralty, biological ship, military xenophobe. They're scary a little bit. Let me just say that. Favorite the roboticists. Good, good, good. You almost got them.
Construction completed.
And when this one comes out, we will favorite it. I'm fine with losing a bit of minerals so we can get robots going, because they'll immediately start working the mineral jobs. Don't think, we have no like rights or anything we can do with them. Now, if you are struggling for consumer goods, you could go off Utopian Abundance. I kind of like keeping it there because the happiness is very nice. Less amenity issues. But it's up to you, really. And let's switch you to factory. And we can keep building. You can see the issue is still minerals. We're working max mineral jobs here and it's still an issue. Edict Fund is really nice. The percentage upkeep. It means we could potentially do some more things. And because we've kind of expanded as much as we want here, not really, but we kind of can afford the alloys and influence to keep expanding. We're at 1k alloys, pretty nice. We're going to go to Isolationist for the 10% more unity. We could have done this a lot earlier. I maybe forgot. Potentially, maybe. More trade bet. Nice. So you're done with automatic. We'll go over here. Now, Ralikev, Commiserate, they want a commercial pact and a research agreement. What do you do with these? Now, they're going to cost us influence. We only have 3 influence, but we only have really 3 more systems we want to rush down, potentially 4 if we can get there. So we're not too bad on influence. Influence is not an issue. What a research agreement does, it tells you how many techs they have that we don't. So they have 3 physics, 1 society, and 3 engineering research like these that we don't have. This is not how much tech we're going to get from them. It's not going to add 3 physics, 1 society, 3 engineering. What it does do is if we research tech that they have that we don't, it gives us a 25% bonus to research speed. This is really good when you're playing on Grand Admiral because they're going to have more techs than you early on. So I'm going to agree to this. And you can see immediately this went up to 37% because they have researched it. That's going to buff up how much tech progress we'll get, which is really nice. So it's nice to make a friend, especially early on Grand Admiral, to get a research agreement. Now, Commercial Pact, it used to say how much trade each other had, but since the trade change in 4.x, it doesn't say. But this will buff up our trade, which gets turned into consumer goods. So we'll accept that. I believe it gets turned into consumer goods. It doesn't look like it did, but it buffed up our trade. So that's fine. We'll be very friendly with these because they're going to aid our economy. Now we can send our military ship back, but we could also just keep exploring to potentially find another empire. I don't think we can this side. So we will go teleport them over to over here and see if anyone's over there. What you can also do is make trades if you have like an excess of one resource and not a lot of the other. But at the minute we're pretty fine. We could do communications. Give them a little bit of food to get it to +1. 30 food. See if they found anyone that we haven't. Doubt it. I thought that was a megacorp then, but they're not megacorps. And here we're going to make energy. Because they do have a dust desert, which should give us moats from energy, which is going to be very important. So we will whack on generator world there. And now we get 40% more unity. So our unity's ramping up, our science is ramping up. It's pretty good. We could get more trade, but I want to expand the council now. Getting extra council members is still good. It's just early on, didn't know which one. We don't really need the counter positions to buff us, but that 40% unity is going to buff us more. Defense Pact, I'm not going to join because it's very likely that Mount Splay is going to attack them, and I don't want to help them because they're bordered. Like, there's no benefit there. If it was the other way around, if I was here, yes, I would accept that. Migration tree, I'm not going to do. It could help. What type of planets are they on? They do have a Savannah world, which would let us settle the desert world, but I don't really care. We've got enough planets at the minute. I don't want them sapping my immigration, so yeah, I'm going to decline those. Sorry, my friend. Not today. They might just spam us a lot, but oh well. Oh, we ran into Amal, please leave. They're going to die. No, they got out. Okay. Let's do... I mean, they're pretty much friends with us now, so we'll improve the other ones. And now we can get extra starbase and less cost. Let's get... Ooh. First contact speed's good. Gene Clinic's going to cost exotic gases, so we can't really use that. Let's go for the... I mean, it's literally 1 month away. We may as well do that. Bit more influence. Nice. Refreshes these. We'll go for the Edict Fund. We're turtling up here. That's the plan. To turtle. Get as many starbases down as we possibly can. You've actually finished the dig site. Well done. There's another one that's difficulty 1. Let's first do any anomalies. They might give us some good deposits. And there's a storm. So storms aren't actually that bad anymore. 200% from mining and research stations is a lot. Hopefully it shifts over this way and gives us a bunch of resources. We also get 10% sublight speed. And a specimen. Cool. Okay, we can start... Not really. Minerals is an issue. Minerals is an issue, but we're going to keep spamming state districts. I would like to get 100 tech a month, but you can see it's not too bad because techs have been halved from 4.2. So we're still making progress. We really want to get breed tradition so we can get our ascension going, but it's tough on UNE. It is much tougher. What we could do is actually use these buildings, but we're going to be replacing them later on. For sure. You're lowering our pop growth speed by 5%. I really don't appreciate that. I really don't. What we're going to do, this is becoming more and more tech. We're going to put a scientist in charge. Let's get someone who is adaptive, more leader XP. And then we can put governors on these planets trying to match what they're doing. Nobody here really gives minerals yet. So we'll just grab a trade person. Factory world again. Nobody's giving that. We're at capacity. Let's fire you. I'm sorry. But pop growth speed reduction is a no-go. Get you there. And I don't think we can get another one because our president does that, which is annoying. But that's fine. On our capital, we probably should get the monument to give us 5% to the Unity jobs because we do have bureaucrats. And I'm going to restore the enforcer because I will forget because we're creeping up. I 100% will forget. There's no way I don't. Minerals from jobs, I like that because it will unlock the equivalent of global energy management. But we have reached year 15 and this has gone on quite a while. I've really tried to be in depth as possible and that's going to continue as the series goes on. You can see we've set ourselves up quite well. 95 Unity, 94 Tech. We're trying our best to get things going. 29 alloys. Maybe we have too many alloys. Maybe. Probably not. If you want to see the continuation of the series, we're going to go as far as we can. We might lose to the 25 times crisis. I'm going to try my best to show you every single click to try and defeat the 25 times all crisis. The series is continued for $5 members. It's greatly appreciated. The series link is here if you're watching this in the distant future. Episode 2 is up right now here as well. And there's also 3 other seasons to binge watch, ranging from 4.0, 4.1 and 4.2. I'll see you in those. Thank you so much. Goodbye.